Today, I'm going to help you take your first step into the world of AI automation. We are going to build a 4-step process that allows you to send out update emails or potentially text messages or WhatsApp messages or Facebook messages to a group of people. It could be all the people helping in a wedding that you're planning. It could be a little league basketball team. It could be your lineman getting a bunch of your old team ready to go out on a storm call and you need to text everyone. Whatever you want. It's a great way to take simple tools that you already use every day and turn them into actionable messages. Now, before we jump into today's topic, if you could take just a minute and like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, that would help me a ton to get more content out and to be able to produce more stuff like this. This is an incredibly powerful automation we're about to make here. It's going to blow your mind, I think. It blew mine when I got it working the first time, just how quick it is and how easy it is. So these are tools that you've probably worked in every day for the last several years. It's a spreadsheet through Google Sheets. It's a Google Doc. And then this last piece you may not have experience with. That's kind of why we're going through this tutorial is make.com. It's an AI automation framework. So we'll start out here with your sheet. You've got your kind of typical header here. And then we have parents and then a kid for a basketball team. Let's say that I'm the coach. And we're going to test this by sending an email to me. There's a phone here where we could build an automation that would pretty easily and pretty cheaply send out a text message as well. And then we have a child praise. So we're just saying, hey, this is what you've done really well as a kid. But we don't want to have to compose a separate email or text for every one of these parents. Because of that, we've created a template. And we've done this tailored to AI. So we said, hey, this is the template. This part's going to be the same every time. And then this part is very free form, where we just say, hey, expression of appreciation for what the child's doing well, using only the child's first name. And the rest is going to be up to this automation. All right, so let's jump in. First, you come to make.com, get signed into that. It's free. You get 1,000 operations a month. And I'm not even close yet. And I've been playing with this a little bit already this month. So create a new scenario. That's going to pop this open. And we're going to start with the Google Sheet first. So we're going to say search rows, and we just want to get all the rows. You're going to have to add a connection. This is pretty straightforward. Then do select from my drive, and then you're going to do spreadsheet ID. So this is my team contacts. My team contacts. Okay, well, that's going to make a connection. Then it's going to ask you for sheet name, do contact sheet. You do have headers. Don't worry about the column range. That doesn't matter too much in this case. Don't really need to worry about filter. Everything else is good. Hit OK. All right, I'm going to move this guy over. Now we're going to add another module. We're going to go to Google Docs. And we're going to, not create a document. We're going to get the content of a document. Again, you'll have to create a connection. Then we're going to say, I want it by drop down. I'm going to get it from my drive. And then I'm going to choose, in this case, it's order. So update to team. We don't have tabs. Hit OK. So now I've got connections already that quickly to both of these spreadsheets. Sorry, to the spreadsheet in the Google Doc. Now I'm going to do the AI part. I'm using a tool called Groq, and that is spelled Groq. And we're going to go create chat completion. The reason I'm using Groq instead of ChatGPT is because this one has a really good free tier that's great for practicing. You get access to Facebook's Llama model, and it's everything you really need. Adding here, you're going to have to go through a process of adding an API key. To do that, I'll have a link in the description where you can go through a blog post I wrote about how to do that process. So if you have any trouble with getting set up with that, just go to that blog post and you should be good to go. Now here's the key to the whole piece. When you're dealing with an LLM, especially like a chat completion type of LLM, you're going to have this series of messages. And so the first message is usually a system message. This sets the context for the LLM, for that large language model. In this case, it's the Llama large language model. And this AI model is going to make it's going to decide what are the parameters of how it's going to respond. I could say, you're a cheerful chatbot, you're a Eeyore chatbot. It will give it some feel for the vocabulary, word choice, all that. In this case, and I should note, this is the first time you've probably seen this come up. We're seeing all of these options. This is all the data that's coming out of the Google Doc and the Google Sheet that we have access to. So we're going to ignore that for now. On this one, we're going to say you are a helpful assistant who sends out reminder emails to parents of children on a basketball team. You also call out the things the child, I shouldn't say it that way. You also include praise for the child in the message. All right, so that sets all of the messages that come out of this relationship with this LLM now are going to have that kind of a tone. But that's not enough because we actually have to get the data into it now. So we're going to do add item again. Now we're going to say user. This is as if you were typing into ChatGPT. So now we're going to use some of the content here. So we'll say create a short, I don't even need to say that, create a message based on the following child information and template. All right. And so now we're going to go in here. We're going to say child first name. And we're going to go down here and we're going to grab child first name. And then we're going to say child last name. We're going to go over here and we're going to grab child last name. And then we're going to say child praise. And actually, instead of that, I wrote it here, what the child is doing well at. So child praise would work too, but I'm going to use this exact phrase here so that it can really recognize that it's the same thing. I want the same, that to show up in the template. I'm going to grab this child praise and put it in here. Okay, and then the last thing I need is the message template. And that one is going to come from here, and we're going to use the body content. We could, actually, you know what? We'll just use the text content. So we'll just grab all the text unformatted because this is a very simple message. Okay, so that is all that you need for Groq, and we'll hit OK. Now, we're going to set up an email here in a minute, but before we do that, let's go ahead and run it and see what happens. So we run it, we get some logs coming out of this. It did 3 of them here and 3 here, but only 1 here, and that's because there's 3 rows here. So you can see that you get 3 different results here, so I had 3 operations, and then here we had 3 operations. So let's look at the first one, and the result is, here's the bundle, the result. Hey y'all, heads up that at practice night we're going to be working on ball handling skills. Hey, that's exactly what we had here. And then let's see what it did with expression of appreciation. I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge Emma's great improvements. Was this Emma for the first one? Emma, look at that. In her free throw posture. Was it free throw? Great improvements in free throw posture. Okay, keep up the fantastic work, Emma. All right, let's look at 2 really quick. And we'll look at, again, we're going to go down a different path here, choices, message. Okay, hey y'all, heads up at practice. Look, Ethan, I want to give you a shout out to you for the big hustle you've been showing on the court. Now, because we said it's a basketball team, it was felt free to add in on the court. And so I just noticed one thing here, and sometimes you'll see this. It says, best regards, your name. Okay. we don't want that showing up in an email. This is why we're doing a quick test first before we send in an email. So let's, now I'm just going to go down here and add this. I'm going to say, see you soon, Sam. All right, so that it will know not to do that. And then I'm going to close this and I'm going to rerun it. Goes through, and now we're going to look at these logs again, and let's see what happened this time. And now see, it has it here. See you soon, Sam. Okay, and then bundle one. Oops, that's not the messages. This is the output here. So this is see you soon, Sam. Down here, see you soon, Sam, and we'll look at operation 3. See you soon, Sam. Okay, so everything looks good. We've got what messages that we're happy with. You know, if we wanted to get a little picky here, that's got too much spacing in it. It's probably due to how I did it here. I'm not going to worry about it for this demo, but that could be something that you mess with on Google Docs. All right, so now we're going to add our email. So come over here, add email. Unfortunately, private personal Gmail accounts are difficult to add. They're possible, but not very easy. So I'm going to use Outlook in this case. And we're going to say, create and send a message. You'll need to set up a connection. And here's an important piece. That connection that you set up is going to be tied to a specific email address. And so you have to, for your from email, that has to be the email that you sent. Okay, the other thing before we do that, I want to add something here. We're going to set up a filter. Now you notice over here, I only added one email. So I don't really want to try to send an email if there's no email address. So I'm going to say, make sure an email address exists. And then I'm going to say condition. I'm going to say they have to have an email because I can't really do it without that. And I'm going to just say exists and click OK. And that's going to make it so we only send one email. Now, the subject is update from coach. Body content. Now we're going to grab, and the cool thing is because we ran it once, Make is now giving us the results of these things. So it knows what we have. So we have here's a message to Emma Johnson's parents. We don't really want that one as much. Let's see. Message. So we're going to grab this content. And the one thing that I'm kind of noting here is it says, here's a message to Emma Johnson's parents. I probably should have updated that to be like, so it's just directly to them. So that's something that we could tweak in the prompt that we give to Groq here in a bit. And then we're going to say recipients, and we're going to come down and we'll grab the email address. And then we're going to grab name, first name, and then you got to put a space, last name. Okay, and then you're from, and this one is the one, this is my consulting email address just because that's what I set up in my Microsoft connection. So that has to match. And I'll just say Sam Schneider. This can be kind of whatever you want. And I'm going to hit OK. All right, and I want to see, let's go ahead and real quick just fix this. So we'll say, how about we say write a message directly to the parents of this the below child based on the following information. Okay, let's see how that does. And I'm going to run this through the whole thing because it's only going to me. We'll get right back into today's content. But I quickly wanted to let you know about a free guide I put together called the AI Implementation Handbook. It's a 3-step process that lets you identify exactly the right spots to begin implementing AI in your organization. It'll work for pretty much any business process, and it's a great way to get buy-in from your boss that yes, your company can get started on AI implementations right now. It's totally free, and the link to this is in the description below the video. Okay, right back to today's content. So it starts, generates, and then this is my email inbox, by the way, that's sitting here. All right, the good news is, all right. And so we got update from coach, and it has it from me, and it's to the right email address, and it says subject tonight's practice ball handling skills. Hey y'all, heads up that at practice tonight we're going to be working our ball handling skills. Make sure you bring your own water. See you tonight at 6:30. I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that Emma is making some great improvements in her free throw posture. Her hard work is definitely paying off. See you soon, Sam. Okay, so this is just a short hop, skip, and a jump away from adding text messages, WhatsApp integration. You could literally blast your team. You could blast your work group, your carpool, and you don't have to buy a big app to do this anymore. And you can set this on a schedule too, so that it would hit them once a week or it would hit them every morning. There's an infinite amount of things that you can do with this kind of automation. There you have it. You've got the basic skills now to start doing all kinds of automations. If you would like this video, if you liked the video, of course, that would help me a ton. And also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that would be great. I can get more content to you. And then down in the comments, let me know what else you would like to see videos about.